It's been a century since the boundaries of the ACT were formally carved out of surrounding New South Wales. And dotted along the squiggly line that makes up the border were hundreds of marker trees, blazed by surveyors working under often atrocious conditions. Today, only a handful still remain, and the ACT government is going to extraordinary lengths to preserve one tree and the story its weathered bark tells. Craig Allen reports.
Of all the unusual things you'll see in the Australian bush, this is one of the more bizarre. A helicopter airlifting a tree out of Mouat National Park, south of Canberra. But this is no ordinary tree.
Of the 1,500 trees that were originally marked in the border survey, there's only about 50 left, about 4%.
Old marker trees like this have stood for a century, defining the ACT border from surrounding New South Wales. Most have fallen victim to the ravages of fire and decay.
When they saw this one and knew that it was getting old, it had already died and was becoming possibly unstable, that they thought it would be great to preserve the tree.
So began an exhaustive process of removing the old gum from one of the park's most inaccessible regions. For Adrian Bradley, it's significant family history. Her grandfather, Harry Mouat, was the surveyor charged with the gruelling task of marking that part of the border.
Apart from the rocks, the mountain, the steep cliffs and so on, there was snow. I believe he asked to come back from the mountains because it was snowing, and they said no. He had to stay there.
Never before had Europeans ventured into this country where they were up there in the hills of the Brindabellas. So it's quite a fascinating history in terms of 100 years ago. And here we are today using a helicopter. I'm sure Harry Mouat has got a wry smile on his face.
Now plans are afoot to preserve the tree from termites and build a new display telling the tales of that high country survey at the Namadgi Visitor Centre. While up on the border, history is repeating itself.
I'll be putting a CT on this, which stands for Commonwealth Territory.
Today, a new generation is re-blazing the border and carrying on the traditions of Harry Mouat and his crew from a century before.
You come a waltzing Matilda with me.
Craig Allen, ABC News, Canberra.